In our day, we witnessed famous cases of sibling rivalry. The Jonas brothers, Prince William and his brother Harry, Kim and Kourtney Kardashian. Sibling rivalry is as old as time. And our Torah is full of examples, awful examples. Esau wants to kill his brother Jacob. Joseph's brothers sell him into slavery. But no sibling rivalry is worse than the first brothers, Cain and Abel. The story begins when Cain and Abel, the first two brothers, decide to offer sacrifices to God. Abel brings the choices of his flock to sacrifice. Cain brings God some fruit. So Abel's offering is accepted by God. Cain's offering is not. And Cain is furious and plots to take out his jealousy against his brother Abel. God knows that he is planning on killing his brother. So God advises Cain. It says in the Torah, God says to Cain directly, Cain, surely if you do right, there is uplift. But if you do not do right, sin waits at the door. Its urge is toward you. Yet, ve'ata timshol bo. Now what does that last part mean? Timshol. Is it a command? Cain, master the urge to do wrong. Is it a promise? Cain, you will master this. Or is it a choice? Cain, you can master sin if you choose. Most of our commentators have always looked at the God telling Cain, Cain, you can be its master. Because God is reminding Cain that he has a choice to do right or to do wrong, to not let sin in or let sin master himself. And as we know, of course, Cain makes the wrong decision. He's unable to control his urge to sin. He rises up and he murders his brother Abel. Our Jewish tradition teaches, like Cain, you and I are born neutral. The choice is always in our hands. What we decide to do, will we master sin or not? 2 months ago, I read that the most Jewish psychological thriller ever made was starting on Hulu. I love psychological thrillers, and of course, I love shows with Jewish themes. The show is called The Patient, and the main character is played by one of my favorites, Steve Carell. He plays a Jewish doctor named Alan Strauss. It's a show made just for me. Lisa and I started watching the 10-episode show last month. And in it, a patient named Sam kidnaps his therapist, Dr. Alan Strauss. He takes him to his home and he holds him prisoner in his basement. Dr. Strauss finds himself in a situation none unlike the one depicted in the film Misery. Only in this case, the Kathy Bates part is played by Sam, a serial killer, hoping to curb his urges to murder others by holding his therapist hostage. He wants to continue their therapy in a more intensive manner. He holds Dr. Strauss in his basement with his leg cuffed to the floor. And in order to survive, Dr. Strauss must unwind Sam's disturbed mind. Sam's father abused him so much when he was a child that Sam feels that he cannot help himself from killing other people without more intensive therapy. He feels he has no choice. He can't resist the urge to murder. The show is brilliant because you end up actually feeling empathy for Sam, a serial killer. Of course it's awful what he's doing. He's killing innocent people, but you come to believe that he was abused so badly that he has no choice. Sin is always at his door, and Sam cannot help himself. Because of his father's abuses, the urge to do wrong is just too strong. Our tradition teaches that God did create human beings with two potential inclinations. The Yetzer HaTov, the inclination to do good, and the Yetzer Hara, the inclination to do evil. Think of the old comedy skit, a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. always trying to get us to side with them, with one or the other. In the sages, in the work Avot of Rabbi Natan, developed the idea that human beings are born with that evil impulse, the Yetzer Hara. But based on how we are raised, we don't develop a Yetzer HaTov until the age of 13. The hope is that we have parents, we have teachers, we have mentors from a young age who help us develop those good inclinations. If not, the Yetzer Hara will be a stronger challenge to overcome throughout our lives. Now, unlike the serial killer Sam, thank God, most of us were born with active and involved parents who guided us, taught us the values that help us every day, help develop our Yetzer HaTov. Yet it can still be challenging to overcome our Yetzer Hara. It's a strong and powerful impulse. And when we are confronted with choices, when sin is just waiting to park itself in your office or in your home, what do? Do you let sin in? Or does your Yetzer HaTov help you master that sin? It's a choice each of us faces every single day. Now, unlike Sam or Cain, we may not feel the urge to murder. But we all of us, no matter who we are, feel the urge to do wrong. When you're at work and you can cheat someone, you can change numbers to make a little bit more money. No one will find out. The Yetzer Hara is strong. It's just waiting to come into your office, to park itself there. What do? What choice do you make? When you learn some juicy gossip about someone in the community, the urge is strong. You just have to tell your friends. You have to let everyone know. Do you master sin, or do you make the right choice and go with the Yetzer HaTov? When you see someone in need, wherever it may be, and you can make a difference, the Yetzer Hara is strong. It tells you, you're too busy. Don't worry about that person. Someone else will take care of them. You've got too much on your plate already. What do you tell the Yetzer Hara? Do you allow the good impulse to overcome and make the right choice? Because our tradition from the very beginning of the Torah, going back to this morning, to the very first two brothers, Cain and Abel, reminds us that when we are confronted with opportunities to do things that we know are wrong, is our Yetzer HaTov, our good impulse, strong enough to help us make the right choice? Or will we let sin master us? No matter how we are raised, it takes work to keep ourselves from doing wrong. We have to constantly, our tradition reminds us, constantly cultivate our Yetzer HaTov. How? Let me end by offering 3 pieces of advice from our tradition. Number 1, by keeping company with other good people. Their good choices do rub off on us. And no matter our age, but especially when we're young, the company that we keep, the friends that we make, the classmates that we associate with, do rub off on us. The decisions they make influence the decisions we make. We tend to do what the people around us do. It's human nature. Number 2, our tradition reminds us that through prayer and faith in God, God is there to help us. God wants us to make the right choices, but understands that we're not perfect. The story is told of a new lawyer fresh out of law school. He has the opportunity at the very beginning to meet the very head of the large, prestigious law firm. He goes to him and he says, "Sir, what is the secret of your success?" 2 words. "Sir, what are they?" Right choices. "But how do you make right choices?" 1 word. The head tells him, experience. And the young lawyer asks him, "How do you get experience?" 2 words. What are they? Wrong choices. We all make wrong choices from time to time. God understands that. And yet God is still there to accept us, to help cultivate our Yetzer HaTov so that we make more right choices. And number 3, by making the right choices, we do cultivate that sense of loving kindness, that sense that's in all of us. Because as the saying goes, mitzvah goreret mitzvah. One mitzvah does lead to another. One good deed does lead to another good deed. That good sense that we have when we make the right choice does cultivate our desire to make more right choices. That Yetzer HaTov that, thank God, all of us have can be grown. It can be cultivated. It can be strengthened no matter what age we are. So when sin is waiting at your door, we can make the right decisions. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And we're now ready to move the last part of our service, our Musa.